Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to you now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing okay. I'm also doing very okay. If you're new here, please subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the support. Yeah, so today onto our topic, direct to our topic. It's something that is common to almost everybody. There are common life problems that we all go through at some point in life, and I'm going to highlight them. And I have a solution, or not really a solution, but how you can handle them. Life problems, depending on their magnitude, can be blocks of in the wheel of progress, and we may not be able to attain our full potential if we don't learn to place our problems in the proper perspectives. Yes. If you don't have an idea of how to deal with the things that you go through every day, with the problems that you encounter every day, you would have a problem with going along well with your life. So I have highlighted 13 of them, but I believe there are many. I just highlighted the most common ones. The first one is financial crisis. We are living in hard economic times in our country, outside country. You have to pay the bills, you have to pay taxes, no salary increment, and life is supposed to go on normally, but the salaries and everything, they have not changed. So difficulties in life are normal. Yes, I believe. We live in an uncertain world, and a financial crisis may come at a different stages of life. As a student, as a parent, while you should always anticipate and prepare for financial crisis, it may catch you off guard, or the magnitude may be far more than any preparation you have made over the years. You may have saved maybe to do a project in future. Then the future comes and the cost of doing the project that time is too high. It could be that you lost your job or a major investment, got slammed with a lawsuit that threatens your savings, or have your livelihood be affected by a major disaster. For example, right now in our country, Kenya, there are rains. You could have invested in something big, then the rains, they're natural disaster, they come and they destroy everything. Landslides, earthquake, etc. So what do you do in a financial mess? To overcome a financial crisis, you will have to come to terms with the crisis, deal with it, keep it on the table, and this is a crisis, and deal with it from there. Acknowledge and accept the situation and begin recovery by setting your financial priorities. When dealing with real world problems, example, the next thing to do is to identify the cause of the crisis. If you lost a job, look for another one. If the job you are in and the money is not enough, look for another job. You see? If it is having debts, you can borrow, as long as you make sure you don't use the debts to do things that are, what do I say, luxury. Yes. You can also sell some of the assets. You could have bought assets earlier and now you're in a financial crisis. You can also sell things. Yeah. It doesn't mean everything is permanent. You don't have to go through things when you can have something to sell. The other point number 2 is health crisis. We all fall sick at some point. We all need medication at some point. Yes. This is not far-fetched because our body systems work around the clock, even when we are sleeping. As a result of this, and if you don't maintain routine health habits, health deterioration might begin to set in. Things might even get serious if you don't attend to it early. No one knows when they'll get sick. No one knows the minute they'll fall sick. But what do? The best you can do with health crisis, the first thing to do is consider lifestyle changes. This includes cutting down on junks, eating healthy diets, exercising, breathing fresh air, taking some sun, etc. You can also have a medical cover. If the place where you are in medical care is free, well and good. If it is not free, make a point of maybe getting an insurance, something that can help you to deal with medication, because sometimes medication can be very expensive. I think it's the third point: relationship, marriage, and family. In one way or the other, we have difficulties in our relationship, our marriages, our families. There may not be anything as sweet as love and family life, but it can be a source of pain for some. I believe it is a source of pain for some. Human imperfection in a relationship can cause a major crisis in life. This has been a stumbling block to many on their path to fulfillment. So what do? The best thing to do is to prevent relationship problems from happening. If it is within your control, prevent them from happening. Be the peacemaker if it is possible. But if they do happen, you need to face reality and begin to take steps towards addressing them. This is one of the most common life problems. So simply do your best to keep the lines of communication open, as it can help in strengthening your struggling relationship. Talk about the challenges, with friends, with your partner, and look for common grounds. Point 4 is workplace. Workplace can be hell. Workplace can be good. Generally, workplace is supposed to be a place where we dutifully render the services for which we've been hired. However, it is not impossible to face animosity at work. Dealing with toxic colleagues who would rather not see any good in what you do, it may be caused by differences in background, attitudes, and unhealthy competition that can result in personal conflicts. Someone doesn't want to see you promoted, this can reduce productivity and can also make lack of peace of mind. So what do? When facing the most common problems in life like this, be as professional as possible with toxic people. Dealing with toxic people, be kind and show understanding. Try to avoid personal confrontation. You can even try to reach out to the person and invite them over for coffee and get to understand their worldview. If that is not possible, they still continue doing the same, you can look for another job. Why not? Yeah. Number 5, the 5th point is career pressure. At some point, you want to see yourself up there, up the ladder, but sometimes it is not possible. So you have the pressure, maybe from parents, from family, from deep inside you. Yeah, the quest to be more successful, you likely encounter work-related pressure. Such can come when you try to stabilize your career to climb the career ladder. It can also come as a result of overworking and having no life. Yes, career is one of the most common life problems. You want to do better than you did last year, so you get the pressure. You don't want to remain redundant. You want to see progress. But what do you do if it is not happening? Check to find if you have personal or attitudinal problems. Some attitudinal problems can put you at a disadvantage. It may be poor communication, poor personal grooming, or poor relationship and networking skills. If it is any of these problems, then work on improving yourself in those areas. Could be because of how you prevent yourself, how are you not promoted. Could be because your level of education, maybe the company where you work, they need this level of education, but you don't have it. What do you do? Go to school, study, get promoted. The other one is unfair treatment. Unfair treatment happens everywhere. In schools, in churches, at workplaces, everywhere. Name it. We find sometimes when you feel like this nepotism, this tribalism, this racism, yes, and that can input a lot of pressure where you feel like you're not treated equally. Yes, if you find yourself in an environment where you're being oppressed or treated bad because of your race, gender, or current status, it can make you feel really bad and also affect your second productivity. That goes without saying. Solution: there's a temptation to decry your treatment, defend yourself, and demand a change immediately. But you should really wait for the right opportunity to do that. Don't do that just like that. When the time is right, reach out directly to the person or authority involved and make it private. Meanwhile, you should be factual about the instances of your unfair treatment. Si like kusema nyi ufanya hivi. No, cite the instances when these things happened to be in a position to get the right solution or the right advice. Once you've done many of your grievances known politely, keep being you. If things don't change, you can cocoon yourself in that environment. If you have an option to leave, you can do so as well, because you're not fixed to stay there. You can look for better things whenever you want. The other one is, I think, point 7 is emptiness and boredom. When you're in a rut, everything becomes normal, dull, unproductive, and difficult to change. This can lead to feelings of emptiness and boredom. This may not seem like serious life problem, but it can have a great impact in your life. Sometimes you feel empty, you feel like you can't do it, you feel like you don't matter, you feel bored, you feel down. What do you do? To overcome boredom and emptiness, break out of your routines and deliberately create new experience for yourself. If you can't leave your job to find a new one, start doing other things that reflect your true passion. Sometimes the things that give us the needed drive in life are not our daily jobs. Sometimes, like I heard about someone who said, if there's anything, I can't leave the job, no matter how my colleagues are, because how do I pay my bills if I leave the job? Of course, in such a case, that person is not proud of what they are doing. In most cases, you find like they feel bored, they feel empty. But you can find other things that makes you happy, that makes you lively, and you can survive. The other number 8 is confusion. Confusion. I want to point out the other. You sat somewhere and felt, I don't really know the right step to take. This has happened to me like a million times when I felt like, what do I do? What is the right thing to do? It is normal. Confusion is described as a change in mental status in which a person is not able to think with their usual level of clarity. It is an inherent in forgetfulness and lack of concentration. This is one of the most pressing life problems today. It can be caused by different things, including medical and environmental factors. It can also be due to the experience of loss, heartbreak, abuse, having to make the right decision. Solution: don't allow the situation to deteriorate into something more serious. Try to snap out of whatever experiences you have had that are causing confusion. You can also seek medical help if it is too much, because nowadays stress, depression is real. Number 9 is friendship problems. You can have friends, like you tell them this, they go and tell this other person exactly what you told them. If you're going through this problem, if you're going through this family issue, you share with a friend, wanaenda wana kusengenya with someone else. We need friends in our lives to rub minds and hang out together, even help us when we run into trouble. But most people have found themselves in serious troubles as a result of the company of friends they keep. They've experienced jealousy, backstabbing, and betrayal of trust. Some friends have even used the information freely provided in terms of friendship to betray trust. Yes. Solution: don't open up on everything to friends. Go on boundaries, my friend. Keep some information only to yourself. If you notice that a friend is working against you, confront them with the truth. Limit your interaction with them or get rid of such toxic friends. Get rid of them. They're not there to stay. You're not born together, so you know what to do. Number 10 is a haunting past. In most cases, haunting past sounds like the memories we hold of the things we did in the past, of maybe people we lost to death, or people who disappeared, some kind of action you did to someone and it never leaves your mind. Some evil maybe you did to someone and it never leaves your mind. We all have past, and we might have done some crazy stuff in the past before we began to live a more civilized and decent life. But sometimes the past comes back to haunting. It's even worse when life problems of the past haunt you back and become problems of the present. It may be that what you have done is now striking your concerns, keeping you awake at night, or someone who knows about it is trying to use it against you, and it's standing in the way of your progress. But what do? You have to forgive yourself, open up to people who you did things to them and apologize. You can also face those people who are using it against you. Be true to yourself and forgive yourself. That's number one thing. If it is an issue with another person, you can reach out to the person and settle with them. If it is a secret that's now being leaked out, own it up, take responsibility and move on. Don't stay in the same place forever. Life is moving. Number 11 is safety and security. This is about now how safe you are, your security, in the neighborhood where you live. Are you safe? Are you afraid of life-threatening situations such as police brutality, violence, murder, being robbed? What should you do in this situation? Ensure that you watch where you go and keep your home secure. You can also get involved in a neighborhood community. Watch to collectively find solutions to the threat. If the situation persists, you can move to a more secure location. Like I said, nothing is bound, it's permanently this way. It's always possible to make changes. Number 12 is failure. At some point in life, we failed. We failed in school, we failed in life, we failed in business. And it's one of the most big problems that people have to deal with. But when you're afraid of failure, what do? Failure is one of the most common real life problems. It can bring disappointment and can also slow the pace of progress. But failure is also part of life. You have to live with it, and we have to learn to deal with it. But what do you do when an experience of failure weighs you down? You don't have to kill yourself. Yes, you can get inspired, talk to someone, and they can narrate to you about the experiences. You can learn from people's experience and also your own. It is not murder. It is okay to fail. Yes. Number 13 is grief. Yes. At some point you've lost a loved one. No one loves to grieve, but we can't totally shield ourselves from it. At some point, all of us will die, and we won't die at the same time. Some griefs comes as a result of accident, others because of sickness, others because of what? Are they too only? Okay. Grief, losing a loved one. Could be a child, could be a dad, could be a friend, could be anyone in life. But how do you deal with that? You have to accept that it is something that is there. It is okay to express emotions, cry. You can write an emotional tribute to the individual. Writing can help us bring out the feelings that cannot be expressed otherwise, and it helps us breathe a sigh of relief. You can also cope with your grief by helping them to realize some of their unfulfilled dreams, or do something in their honor. Like if they like this thing, you can do it on their behalf, so that whenever you see it, you're like, I did this for them. While you think about your loss, you'll still have to move on, accepting the fact that life is transient. Yes, we won't live forever. At some point, we will have to go. We won't go at the same time. We will go at intervals. But what matters is what do you do when you are around. Yes, my points now are done. So the conclusion is problems are what makes life worth living. Imagine living a world where there are no problems, a world where everything is going like new, smooth. It won't be interesting. What problems makes us do is they help us adapt to become tougher as we adapt to different situations. Always remember that whatever life problems you're facing have solution, or at least manageable approach, or someone else went through that and they overcame, and you can also overcome. Therefore, never allow real life problem to stop you from fulfilling your true potential your full potential in life. Thank you for watching. See you next time. I love you.